So greetings, Disney adults, Disney fans of all ages, and welcome. So this one's going to be a little different. Not really going to be talking a whole lot about what Walt would think in this video. We're not going to go back in time for this one. Instead, I'm going to talk about something very special that's coming up, at least for me. As I'm filming this, it is late August of 2024, and coming up September 4th is my anniversary. To be specific, my 30 years anniversary of being married to my lovely wife, Andrea. In honor of her, and in honor of us, I just wanted to share one of our favorite stories from when we first got married. So I think you'll enjoy the story. I hope you'll enjoy this story. And hey, I got to tell you about this story. It has a message to it. And as a dad, and as a teacher, and as a pastor, I love a story with a good message to it. Might make you laugh, might make you cry a little bit. I think it will make you kind of go, aww. So I hope you enjoy the story. Sit back and relax and listen for the message. I met the woman that I was to marry, Andrea, in the fall of 1993. We started dating sometime soon after that. And by Christmas Day of 1993, I knew there was something more to this. Easter Sunday of 1994, I asked her to marry me. Now, we were both in our late 20s, so we kind of set our sights on getting married a little sooner than later. And we said, hey, Labor Day, we get an automatic day off. So we decided to do it on Labor Day weekend. So we got married on Sunday, September 4th, 1994. And I think I've already said that means we've now been married 30 years. So anyway, we got married on a Sunday, like I said, September 4th. Now, when I had talked to her about honeymoon locations, I, of course, brought up Disney World. And Andrea said, I have always wanted to go to Disney World. That sounds great. And I said, I am marrying the right woman. And so we got married on Sunday, September 4th. We spent our wedding night at the townhouse that we were going to start sharing. And then the following morning, September 5th, 1994. That's important. Hold on to that date. We woke up bright and early. A friend of hers drove us to the airport, and we flew down to Florida. We flew down using buddy passes that my sister, who worked as an airline attendant at the time, had given to us, and because we had these buddy passes, we were actually able to fly first class, which was really cool. We got to Disney. We took the Magical Express to our hotel. Now, I had actually originally suggested the Grand Floridian because I, in my young groom's mind, was thinking elegant for a honeymoon. My wife said, no, that sounds a little too fancy for me. She said, I think I'd like something a little more down to earth. And so we chose the newly opened Wilderness Lodge over close to Fort Wilderness. Wonderful hotel. So we flew down there. We got down there on probably early afternoon. Took the Magical Express. Checked into the hotel, took our luggage up to our room, got settled in, and finally, after what seemed months of planning and spending time with family and friends, it was just the two of us. I took her in my arms. I kissed her oh so sweetly. I said, we're on our honeymoon, and we're in our hotel room. I said, what do you want to do? And she looked at me and she said, I want to go see Mickey Mouse. So we headed over to the Magic Kingdom. Now, My wife has never been to Disney World at this point. I've been many, many, many times. So Andrea is sitting there thinking, I am married to a Disney expert. And guys, I think most of you would be proud of me. We went into the Magic Kingdom. We did the Jungle Cruise. We did Pirates of the Caribbean. We did the greatest attraction ever, the Haunted Mansion. We rode Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, the most underrated ride in Disney World, the People Mover. We saw Country Bear Jamboree. We saw the Enchanted Tiki Room. We went to It's a Small World. We went to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. We shopped. We ate good food. We took lots of pictures. We had a great time in the Magic Kingdom on that day. Now, my wife had one request. She knew that I had been a cast member years before for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and she said, I want to see where you worked. Now, I have ridden that ride literally thousands of times. So I was kind of putting her off, saying, let's wait. But finally, the end of the evening, we've probably got an hour or so before the park's going to close. I finally took her back to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And there was a line. The line was like 45 minutes to an hour wait. And I said, listen, the technology on this ride is not that great. Storyline's okay. I said, really, this ride is not worth a 45-minute wait. I said, it's probably the Labor Day crowds. I said, we'll be back later this week. We can ride it then. She was married to a Disney expert who knew what he was doing. So she said, okay. Went back to the hotel. I think the next day we probably went to Epcot, maybe MGM Studios. We found ourselves back in the Magic Kingdom a couple of days later. And she said, I really want to ride 20,000 Leagues. I said, I know. We headed back there to ride 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And it was closed for refurbishment. Yep. I said, I've been married less than a week and I've made my wife mad at me. The one thing that she wanted to do. But honeymoons and new marriages are all about working through all of those things. She quickly forgave me. She became very philosophical about it. She said, we will come back. We'll ride it next time we're here. I so wish the story ended there. But you see, it does not. We did go back a couple of years later. And when we returned to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, it was still closed for refurbishment. The water was still there in the lagoon. The submarines were gone. Several years later, we returned when our son was 4. And by then, walls were in front. Water had been drained out. The queue area had been turned into a meet and greet. And what we didn't know at the time, what nobody really knew at the time, was that 20,000 Leagues was never going to reopen. Eventually they bulldozed it and created New Fantasyland, which is very cool. The last day of operation for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a very popular Disney attraction, was September 5th, 1994. My wife and I were in the parks. We're at Magic Kingdom on September 5th, 1994. We were in line at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea on September 5th, 1994. And the Disney expert said it's not worth it. Like I said, there's a story here, and there's a message here. It's given us something to laugh about all these years later. Oftentimes people will ask us about our honeymoon at Disney World. And Andrea said, yeah, we did everything, except the one thing that I really wanted to do, which was ride the ride that my husband had worked at. If I could go back in time, if I had that one wish, I know exactly where I'd go. September 5th, 1994. I'd go find a young, brown-haired guy with stars in his eyes, with a beautiful wife standing beside him. And I would pull him over to the side, and I would say, I am you from the future. I'd whack him upside the head, and I would say, ride this ride. I don't care how long it takes. Ride the ride and take your wife. There's a story there. Take advantage when you have the opportunity. Happy anniversary to my lovely wife. In spite of the fact that I messed up our honeymoon on that point, I wouldn't have gone through this life with anybody else. I love my wife very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little story. Since then, we have done many, many things at Disney. But I want to say happy anniversary, happy 30 years of being married and somehow putting up with me for 30 years. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope to see you at Disney World very soon.